must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Siasa ni muhimu kwa sababu siasa ni mara mbili. Siasa can be very emotive, very juicy, and filled with a lot of empty promises that never materialize. Or siasa inaweza kuwa watu wanaambiana ukweli na wanajua ya kwamba ndio tufike pahali ambapo tunataka kufika. There is no quick fix. Sijui kama tunaelewana. There is no quick fix. It is going to take blood, sweat, tears, and a lot of toil if we want to make this country that country that all of us dream of. Nataka tushindane kwa fikira. Nataka tushindane kwa kujiuliza tutafika mwisho wa safari hii kwa njia gani? Jana nilisema ya kwamba BBI imekuwa safari. BBI sio kitu ambacho kilianza hivi hivi. Kuna wale ambao pia hata mimi wamenitangulia. Wale ambao vile tumesikia kijana akisema hapa walipigania uhuru wa taifa hili, na kwa sababu ya kujitolea kwao hata huo uhuru hawakuona. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Hawakuona. Kuna wengine nao walipigania uhuru, wakateswa, wakafungwa, na mwishowe waliuona ule uhuru, ule independence, freedom. Lakini walifika hapo wakiwa bado ni wazee. They were old men, all of them. Miaka yao yote ya udogo, their youthful years, they were in the struggle, fighting for their independence. And that is why we are saying, remove these dirty politics of 2022 and dividing people. Class, wewe ni tajiri, sijui wewe ni maskini. Na tuseme, as a country, if you want to be a leader, let us work together to ensure we put in place the right constitution, put in place the right policies to ensure that we end poverty. But poverty cannot be ended by handouts, my dear brothers and sisters. Yeah? It will never be ended by handouts. Yeah? Uhuru is here today, tomorrow is gone. So if you are dependent on me, saidiaing you and your wife and your child, sasa wakati nitakuwa hapa, utafanya namna gani? Na hujajipanga.
afternoon, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television. This is the Africa Showdown from the Political Command Center in London. I am Dr. Matsanga. Good afternoon. Back to you in Nairobi, where Miriam Ogutu is on standby to take us through, and where I can see Sean Wesonga is online straight away from Nairobi. Thank you very much for coming in, Sean. And back to you, Miriam, in the General Headquarters in Nairobi for this show, a Pan-African show, a show that looks at the entire continent, beginning with Kenya. Then we go to other areas where Pan-Africanism is concerned. Lots of events have taken place in Africa this weekend, and a lot of events around Kenya, shaping the destiny of East Africa and shaping the destiny of the region, East African Community, IGAD, and African Union. We have new leadership in African Union. Miriam will read us the topics. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for that. Good afternoon indeed. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in today. As Doctor has said, this is Africa Showdown, and on today's show, let me just read for us some of the topics that we shall be looking at today. And we'll start with Kenya, a bit of some newspaper headlines there. And then our main topic in Kenya is to impeach or not to impeach Deputy President, followed by the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Then after that, we shall look at the rest of the stories across the continent. And we shall start with African Union. Has it decayed or captured? And ICC, is it a savior or a tragedy for the continent of Africa? And in Nigeria, does it need rearrangement? And then we shall go to Uganda, where KIDNAPS and SAFEHOUSES returns, and in Mozambique, ISIS tearing it apart. And then we shall conclude with Zimbabwe. Is there a need for more sanctions? As we know, the UK sanctioned top security officials there in Zimbabwe. Is it necessary during this time? So that is what we have in store for you. So as Doctor has said there, we are joined also from the CBD by one of our analyst here, and also one of our journalists on the radio section, Daniel Wesonga. Daniel, a very good afternoon to you.
Very good afternoon, Miriam Ogutu, in our studios and headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya. A very, very good afternoon to Dr. Matsanga David in London. Here in Nairobi, the weather is very chilly. We've been having drizzles since yesterday and today morning. So it's very, very cold. It's always a pleasure appearing on this show this time. And of course, I see also Douglas Kirimi Bundi has joined us. A very good afternoon to him.
All right, very well. And we're also joined by Douglas Kirimi from Meru County. Douglas, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miriam, and also to my friend Sean Wesonga, Dr. David Matsanga from the Political Command Center in London, and also to our friend Ambassador Ghana Maina.
Yes.
And we're joined by, indeed, friend to the show, Ambassador Ghana Maina. Ambassador, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Miriam. Good afternoon, Dr. Matsanga. Good afternoon, Africa.
All right,
it's a very wonderful week.
All right, thank you so much. So just to start us off on one of the topics we have today, to impeach or not to impeach, we have on the Sunday Standard there on the main headline saying Raila MP's terms to impeach Ruto, a fresh impetus in a renewed push to remove the deputy president from office after fallout within the Jubilee administration. ODM members gave their demands to back motion ahead of the reopening of Parliament on Tuesday this week. And these are just some of the conditions, 5 of them according to the Standard. The conditions to Raila: number 1, motion must be sponsored by Jubilee Party and have the full blessings of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Number 2, ANC Deputy Party Leader Ayub Savula, a current sponsor of motion, should not be the face of the impeachment. Number 3, foolproof plans that will not collapse at the National Assembly and the Senate, leaving egg on their faces. And the 4th one, rejected proposal for formation of a committee to spearhead motion as they do not know its backers. And then number 5, he comes back to them with answers before they embark on supporting removal of the deputy president, Dr. Matsanga. These conditions, do they make sense?
Some of these conditions is like working together with dancing together with the wolves. It is very sad that ODM is giving conditions when they know the situation in Kenya. I mean, any analyst will agree with me that there is something which is not rhyming with ODM and Jubilee, and especially the handshake looks like it has loopholes, which we people who like peace so much, like me, I have embarked on that exercise to look at what are the loopholes, what is causing the jittery situation. Why are people looking at this as a political process, more or less, more than more than a healing process? And I've stated on this occasion, and I want people to be with straight answers. Today I will not talk very much. BBI is, let President Uhuru Kenyatta hear me, let Raila Amolo Odinga hear me. I studied this subject of conflict resolution. They are leaders. They are leaders. I am one of the few people in Great East Africa, in this African continent, who has for 4,222 times since 2014, after the first collapse of the ICC case, I said, let's do a redemption strategy. Anybody who has been following me on my social media platform, which I don't change, I don't draw monkey, I don't draw God, I draw my picture. But itself, I've never feared controversy. You can insult me, I am not a problem. I will not insult you. What will you take away from me? My brain is still intact. You have insulted me, thank you. But I've been telling these leaders in this region and everybody in Kenya, including on this show medium, yourself, and don't shy away to say the truth, to save this situation, that BBI is not a political process. If you look under how BBI came to existence, it is simple, very simple. 9 points were collected, isn't it? 9 points to do what? 9 points to do what? Why 9 points? These 9 points are not all political. They are healing points. The points were collected because Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta sat down and they said, we have been fighting, my brother. What makes us fight every day? And that point was very clear. What makes them fight every day was an election. Am I wrong? During no election, there is no fight. When you mention 2022, Ruto is flying helicopters everywhere, 20 of them landing, even threatening the airspace of this country. Some of us who will be eating food in we shall have a helicopter coming on us because Ruto is rushing to address a rally in Mombasa. When you mention election in Kenya, your country, everybody goes frenzy. Frenzy. Now look at what they're asking. Huh? Unaona? This is frenziness. Yes, Sabula. But Sabula was the one who moved the motion. Why didn't they write the motion then, Miriam? This guy was bold enough and said, Jamen, there is trouble. Now, if they want to take, they can co-sponsor. They can, all parties be there. One MP from ODM, NC, Jubilee, Wiper, they can sit as a committee. What is difficult there? Why do you bring demands? This you are playing in the hands of Ruto. You are even giving Ruto more ammunition and say, you see, they are already confused. Before you can even impeach the guy, you are already in turmoil. This should stop. This should stop. And I'm seeing a trend. Miriam, let me elaborate on this. I'm seeing a trend where hiccups are coming. Very many hiccups, doubts are being raised. Is it not? Is he with me or not? Uhuru Kenyatta, and I want to speak, I'm not the spokesman of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Never, no. I am a friend of the people of Kenya, and therefore Uhuru Kenyatta happened to be the president of the Republic of Kenya. And he is my friend. I have not bought that friendship. Neither have I gone to his office to seek that friendship. Never. I've never even for once since all these days ever stepped in that office to say, Mzee, kuwa friend yangu. I see the values of Pan-Africanism in Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I view them. He has got a Pan-African. Why Dr. Matsanga is all the time, Miriam, supporting him. He has not told me to support him. No, and I don't speak on his behalf. But I'm telling you, knowing what Uhuru is, he cannot accept to go to violence again. He cannot renegade on the agreement they had with Raila Odinga. No, forget it. You can go and hang yourself somewhere else, but don't bring in this malcontents of thinking that Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta are going to say, we are no longer friends, let the fight start on. There are so many things that have gone ahead. Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta. Raila has not declared, I told you last week, Raila has not declared to anybody that he's going to stand as a president. Uhuru Kenyatta, as a term, is finishing. He has not told you he's going to wait longer than 1 hour when you have a new president. These guys might want to leave a legacy. That's all. They want to leave it not in the hands of a thief. A man who is going to do double speak. And the production team in where Miriam is, there is a tape. Yes, thank the Standard and the other groups. And put this tape here before anybody else after me speaks. Let's listen to this tape. Tell the production team to play the tape here. And we hear. Then now we can come down and see. The man who says one thing tonight, tomorrow he says, no, I was not in that place. And they said, no. 2017, he said something different. 2022, 21. So will this man in 2021 be the same guy whom you want to impeach or not to impeach? That is the question. My question. Me, for one, I'm in favor. If impeachment can't work, let there be other methods where the president should sort out the mess with the deputy and they stop harassing Kenyans. Because Kenyans at the moment are at crossroads with COVID-19, medium hitting us left and right. And then you have the deputy president opposing the president in Mombasa, telling him he doesn't know anything. He's drawing salary. He has bodyguards, he has cars, he has taken per diem to book rooms in Marina Point for concubines and other people who flocked there. I can even name you over 30. I don't know how people, either people are donkeys or what, I don't know. But this is serious, media. You know, this is the allowance of Kenyans. This is your tax that you and your family and other people wake up to work It is being wasted. And the deputy president says, I don't know. I don't know anything about that UHURU. I don't know about the government. So, you continue to be in that state, bring the video. Miriam, I will not speak.
Watu ambao ni matapeli. Wanatapeli watu wa Mombasa hii, eti poti inataka kuhamishwa iende Naivasha. Kweli kuna tofauti ya watu waliokwenda kusoma darasani na wale walienda madukani kununua makaratasi ya certificate. Tunaelewana ama tuelewani? Basi wewe mtu ya Mombasa, nataka nikuulize, eti sisi tutahamisha poti kutoka hapa kwenda Naivasha? Yaani bahari hii tutahamisha mpaka ifike Naivasha? Hata kama mtu huna akili, hiyo itafanyika kwa njia gani? Mimi nataka wakati tumejenga SGR, hatujajenga SGR ili kudhulumu watu wa Mombasa. Hatukujenga SGR kuharibu biashara ya watu wa Mombasa. Hatukujenga SGR kupeleka mambo ya biashara ya Mombasa Nairobi ama kule Naivasha. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Tulijenga SGR kwa manufaa ya kupanua biashara hapa. Lakini kuna watu wachache, matapeli wachache ambao wamechukua hiyo SGR wakaitumia vibaya kuharibu biashara ya watu wa Mombasa. Na lazima turekebishe ile mpango ya kwanza ya kupanua biashara hapa katika kutumia SGR. Ndio mahali kulikuwa na kazi 100 iwe kazi 200. Hivi mnanielewa? Na ndio tuliweka pesa ya kwamba lazima saa ile SGR inajengwa, vile vile tujenge ile free port ya Dongo Kundu ambayo imechelewa. Hapo ndipo mahali ingepatikana kazi mbadala na kazi zingine nyingi ya watu wa Mombasa. And that is why the SGR must be accompanied by the building of the free port in Dongo Kundu, so that the city of Mombasa continue to enjoy the economic activity it had in the past. Jana mnanisikia? Wengi wenu ndio hamna kazi, ni kweli ama si kweli? Wengi wenu ndio hamna biashara, si kweli ama si kweli?
There you are. I don't need to say much, and I go beyond this medium. Let the panel decide, and let the viewers decide. Is this the man who is working for his friend, or the downfall of the legacy of President UHURU KENYATTA? Does he represent UHURU KENYATTA, the government, the Jubilee, or he represents his house, the wife, the children, and his riches? Is he with UHURU KENYATTA or not? The question remains to you Kenyans. It is up to you Kenyans to make a decision. I am not a Kenyan. I'm a friend of Jubilee Party. I worked hard to put Jubilee Party. I contributed whatever I had in my poverty status. I put forward my energy, my resources, my breath. You saw me on TV everywhere, defending what was impossible. But we won elections second time, twice. You saw, you have seen what I have contributed. It is not my role to say what you should do now, but it's my role to defend the legacy of President UHURU KENYATTA. My role here stops there. The rest is you, the Kenyans on the panel. Mine and Gaina Maina is to say this type of language in Africa brings violence. If you are now in with the government and you say you are not, then you say it is him, not me. Then you want to lead the people tomorrow. How will people trust you? Back to you, Miriam.
Thank you so much. And as we speak, there is a plan to impeach Deputy President William Ruto. And it has kicked off with 126 Jubilee members of Parliament appending signatures in support of this motion. And so we've seen some of the terms here laid by the ODM party, and they're saying one of those is we need somebody from the Jubilee Party to lead this impeachment so that it doesn't look like maybe perhaps it's just an opposition thing, saying that this is the Deputy President of, of the Republic of Kenya, the second in command there in Jubilee Party. And so he has been a thorn in the skin of President Uhuru Kenyatta there, and been accused of also derailing even their own agenda that they set out to achieve to Kenyans. And so perhaps what the opposition is thinking, since he is a problem to Jubilee Party, how about we get a Jubilee person to lead, so it doesn't look like it's an opposition thing. I don't know, from what perspective do you look at these terms laid out there by ODM party, Daniel Wesonga?
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And on the impeachment of the Deputy President, I think Dr. Matsanga has quite well elaborated the strategy, and it's a very, very well-crafted perspective that we've got from him. So from me, I tend to tie my reasoning to the chariot of his reasoning. So I'll not much delve into that. I think he has done it quite auspiciously, and that is what the ODM party, that is what even the Jubilee legislators, the path that they should follow in that kind of reason. Mine, I'll look on whatever clip that has been played there. And I would really like to say, Miriam, that the Deputy President is being dishonest to the people of the Republic of Kenya, simply because when you look at the current dispensation, we have the presidency. We do not have the office of the president separated from the office of the Deputy President. And that is why when we went to cast our ballots in 2017, we only cast a single ballot for President Uhuru Kenyatta. But remember, when we were voting President Uhuru Kenyatta, his presidency was tied to the Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto. And having that provision of presidency and not the President and the Deputy President, it tells you that these people shared the presidency on a 50-50 basis, in that President Uhuru Kenyatta took half of the cabinet, William Ruto took half of the cabinet. But whatever we've been saying is that William Ruto on his side, he took his henchmen and put them in very, very strategic positions in cabinet, where we have been seeing abrasive thefts, we've been seeing a lot of impunity, we've been seeing a lot of money, public coffers being looted to depletion. And of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta has been very consistent since 2013, launching state-of-the-art projects, moving around the country, really commissioning projects and doing all that. But I can tell you for a fact, anyone who lives in Kenya, we understand that the Deputy President started campaigning immediately after they won their first term. And he has been doing so. And in 2017, immediately, President Uhuru Kenyatta won his second time. I understand that his clarion call was to deliver on their promises. And it is these promises that brought President Uhuru Kenyatta together with his deputy to work for the people of Kenya, to be able to leave behind a legacy. Apart from that, I think if the Deputy President does whatever he's doing right now, it is not in line with the Jubilee Party manifesto. It is not in line with whatever brought the President together with the Deputy President. And therefore, if they cannot agree on working terms, then there's no need of having the Deputy President in the office. There's no need of continuing to have a relationship with him. And even the Bible says, Miriam, that two cannot walk together unless they agree. As it is right now, the Deputy President is hell-bent on pursuing his 2022 presidential ambition, and he has no business in supporting President Uhuru Kenyatta in either implementing his projects or either even just giving him the goodwill, because he has been going around the country really disregarding and besmirching the president's legacy and the project. You saw him yesterday in Mombasa disregarding the SGR, a project which at some point in time he took credit of. So we have to tell the Deputy President that he has to decide which path he wants to take, whether to be in the opposition or to be in the government. You can never straddle on the fence in such a critical time, Miriam. Let him choose and let him be honest to the people of Kenya. I submit.
All right, very well. Thank you so much, Daniel. Now, the Sunday Standard has learned that proponents of the impeachment, though led by Amani National Congress Party lawmaker, top Jubilee leadership, were not happy with DP's defiance politics. The team led by the Handshake allies are expected to hold a meeting this weekend to concretize on the Ruto impeachment plans ahead of reopening of Parliament on Tuesday. After a long break, a committee has raised the 16 grounds that they hope to firm up to at least 5 to 6 issues that will meet the threshold of the requirement, according to Article 150 of the Constitution. So this is something that is underway, Douglas. Javen.
Thank you, Miriam.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Douglas. All right, Javen, come in and respond to that question.
Thank you, Miriam, for this opportunity and for having me on the panel. One thing I would say is that the Deputy President is a master of double-speak. He, in various occasions, he has been criticizing the Jubilee administration, and in some occasion, he has also went on to praise the government agenda. Therefore, this is a man who speaks from both corners of his mouth, and he leaves Kenyans confused on where he stands in terms of his support in Jubilee administration or his opposition to Jubilee administration. And if he feels, and this I have been saying, if Deputy President William Ruto feels that Jubilee government is not delivering the promises made, and he is part and parcel of the Jubilee administration, then the best that he can do is to resign and to avoid the mess that is in Jubilee government. But how can you continue criticizing the government that pays you a salary, that gives you bodyguard, that protects you, and you are still complaining that it's not delivering to the people of Kenya? That level of hypocrisy is what we need to call out from the Deputy President. He has went on to criticize the BBI process, but he is not offering alternative to the BBI process. Therefore, this is a man who stands for, I don't know what he stands for, but he stands for empty rhetoric, empty promises that they don't hold any water. He was in Lunga promising 100 million additional money to the constituencies, but he is also the person criticizing the from 15 to that 5% increment going to our county coffers. Therefore, when you look at this man, you are left wondering, where does he stand? In one end, he is saying the president is failing, but on the same end, he is saying that he is part of the Jubilee success. Therefore, to avoid all these kind of contradictions, the best we can do is to ask the Deputy President, with all due respect, to resign and leave a person who is capable to deliver on Jubilee agenda to continue on where he has left. And number two, he need to tell us since 2013 to 2018, when he says that he was pushed out of periphery of leadership in Jubilee, from 2013 to 2018, what have he done to deliver the change that we deserve in this country? What has he done from 2013, when he had a half of the cabinet, when he had top leadership in government parastatals? What did he do to transform the life of the people he is calling hustlers today? Therefore, if we hold him accountable and we ask him those hard questions, then he might see the reason why we are calling for an impeachment or we are calling for his resignation. Number three, he has been campaigning since day one. He has been campaigning since the Jubilee took power. What is he that he wants to achieve that he can't do it now? He says that he has numbers in the parliament. He says that he has numbers in the Senate. All these things that he is promising Kenyans today, some of them are legislative in nature, can be passed in the floor of the Assembly, of the National Assembly, or the Senate. Why does he not sponsor those members of parliament to go in the parliament and pass legislations that will benefit the people of Kenya when he still has the power? Therefore, when we look at all these issues, the Deputy President qualifies to be called a person of doublespeak, a master of doublespeak, and it's high time that the Jubilee, and I think the Jubilee administration and the Jubilee party leadership, they have been lenient. They have given Deputy President a lot of space to expand his narrative territories. And you saw him yesterday calling the SGR a project that does not benefit the people of Kenya. Therefore, it is high time also the people who support the president to come out openly and criticize the Deputy President. We have seen them going silent when the Deputy President is criticizing. These members of Jubilee who pretend to support the president, why are they doing? Why are they not speaking? We have seen their opposition coming from the ODM. We need to see the Honorable Gunjiri Wamboko and Kanini Kega criticizing the deputy president. Yes.
And I think Gunjiri and Kanini Kega has been doing a good job in doing that. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. And also we need to understand as the people of Kenya is that the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya that has been besmirching and also destroying the legacies of their presidents, of their leaders and also their governments. This is the only deputy. Even in the US, we have never had Mike Pence destroy the legacy of the most erratic president in US history, the former president Donald Trump. One thing we need to understand about this when we talk about Deputy President William Ruto, it is out there for everyone to see. It is only an hypocrite, a person who does not appreciate good progress that can only use what Deputy President William Ruto is using today to destroy the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. For example, William Ruto, when he is in Mombasa, he talks bad about the SGL because the people in Mombasa want to hear his shenanigans. When he comes to Mount Kenya, he runs on the president's legacy. That's why the president said the other day that the projects that the president has done, those projects belong to a man from Ishaweri. It is the president of the Republic of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, through his government, that has initiated those projects. But when you see William Ruto go out in public and tell people how the government is not able to put the minimum 15% to the counties, how are they going to get that 5%? In the same meeting, the hypocrite comes out and tells people that we, the government of Asras in 2022, as if he knows who will be the president in 2022, we are going to fund every Asra individually. We are going to pump 100 million in 2022 in every constituency. Miriam, this is a question to William Ruto. Mr. William Ruto, if Uhuru Kenyatta cannot be able to entrench that in the constitution, where are you going to get money? Which miracle are you going to work in 2022 that you cannot work with the president today? This hypocrisy has to end here. We have to leave everything here. You promised the people of Aurora and Kimwarel dams and also good food security, protection from the state. When the president allocated 64 billion, William Ruto and your surrogate, you stole 64 billion and you left thickets and bushes to the people of Aurora and Kimwarel. President Uhuru Kenyatta promised the people of Mount Kenya and Kenyans at large the Mau Mau roads connecting 4 counties. That road is continuing. The Nairobi Expressway, all the roads in Mount Kenya are ongoing except the fake projects that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has been able to launch. I have never seen Samia Suluhu, the Deputy President of Tanzania, launch fake projects in the name of Magufuli. I have never seen Edward Kiwanuka, the Vice President of Uganda, launch fake projects on behalf of Kaguta Museveni. This is a Deputy President who has become a very rogue man, a very dangerous man to humanity and also to the leadership of Jubilee Party where he serves. He continues endangering the life of Jubilee Party as a party as he continues offering alternative directions to the party that is called UDA Party. This is a deputy president that we have lost faith in as the people of Kenya. Miriam, this is the same man that goes out there and continues propagating the ideas of another party and also continues besmirching the president when it is only convenient to him. This is a man that Kenyans are trusting their lives with in 2022. We need to put everything clear. We need to come out very clearly and also tell the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya for who he is. He is an hybrid political conman that mobs into something else when he is in a different region. When he is in Mount Kenya region, he is riding on the back of President Uhuru Kenyatta. When he is in Mombasa, he is besmirching the SGL. This is the same man who would put these bloggers on SGL. Why is he not carrying these bloggers so that they can blog for him in Mombasa in the same choppers that he flies in? This is a corrupt man who will always carry these bloggers in SGL that he is saying is a bad project for this country. This is a man that we have lost faith in. This is the man that follows the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta behind every day and telling people how they have built this and this with the President Uhuru Kenyatta. When he goes out there, he says President Uhuru Kenyatta is a failed president. Shame on you, Deputy President William Ruto, and you will never become president because you don't know who will become president in 2022. And actually, if the motion comes to change the constitution so that we can extend the term of President Uhuru Kenyatta, how are you going to become president in 2022? Actually, I think as an ordinary Kenyan, we need to change the constitution so that we can be able to deal with an erratic man, a defiant deputy president who does not even respect the people of Kenya. You lie in the morning. Today you was lying in church. Tomorrow you'll be lying again.
This is a shameless dictator, a man that should never come near power. We have seen what he has done when he has been a deputy president. He has been stealing with reckless weapon. Thank you, Miriam.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much. And according to Savula, among other grounds, alleged corruption, Western hotel land grab, disrespecting president, and waging a tribal and class incitement war among Kenyans. So these are just some of the articles that will be included in that impeachment. Yes. Ambassador, the conversation continues. Yes.
Oh my God. Ambassador, do you have any words?
I have a word because today we need to talk about politics. And before we start talking politics, I want to ask the panel the question. Because I've been following the politics in Kenya lately, and am I going to ask those Kenyans, Miriam, Douglas, and everyone, do you people think and believe that, number one, impeaching the deputy president will solve the turmoil of Kenyan politics going on right now? Do you believe 100%? That's my first question. Do you believe, Dr. Matsanga, impeaching him will solve the political turmoil as it is going now?
It will give President Uhuru Kenyatta time to finalize his achievements, write his legacy, hand over power to a peaceful, united Kenya without divisions of Idris and Muhammad Faki of your country. That is what we are trying to bridge, because Idris and Muhammad Faki don't see eye to eye. It is good you even separated that Muhammad Faki to go to AU. They would be fighting now. Brother, you did your strategy in Chad. Now you don't want Kenyans to do the strategy to remove.
No, I'm asking a question because I want to understand it.
Yes,
this is a question.
I have answered you. It is.
That's wonderful. So it will solve the political turmoil, right?
It will remove a jigger that has hidden in the food.
That's wonderful.
The Jubilee government.
It's okay. Now, number two.
I need to remind you that in this country, the only man that is campaigning for president is Deputy President William Ruto. This is the only man that has been campaigning. Son doesn't want to become president. Dr. is not campaigning. He is the only man who is campaigning to become president. And if we tame this monkey, we can continue with our business as Kenyans, and we can continue leading the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The leader of opposition is not campaigning. Why is he campaigning when he is still in power? They are sharing a mandate with the President of the Republic of Kenya. He should leave and continue and go to his home so that he can continue campaigning from his home, not from a government that is led by Uhuru Kenyatta, Ambassador Maina Ghana. This is not going to work in this country. It is not going to work.
Douglas, that is very disrespectful to me as the host of the show.
Can I continue? It's okay. It's a debate. Like it's a very good debate because we are learning from each other. I'm going back to another question. How this Jubilee Party started? Because two people come together because they want to take a power. Am I right? Okay. Do you believe that those two people who has come together to form this Jubilee, there was friend before? Let me land. You will be with me. You will be on my side. You will be on my side, Dr. Matsanga. You will be on my side. The situation of you will be on my side today. The situation is from the beginning.
But not on Ruto. Where Ruto falls.
I understand.
I've even told
I am not with him.
Please.
I am not with him. I am not with anybody. Yes. I'm just trying to tell you that.
God, please, I pray every day that where Ruto falls, follow me the other side. So like a Morgan Changarai.
What happened?
To destroy us. Where? You, Minor.
I understand 100%. Let me land first.
Minor.
What's going on that any place where you see two comrades.
Millions of Ugandans who are going to power on Kenya and Twitter. You wait.
Yes.
Just watch me.
Because when you see those kind of situation in all the politics system, when two comrades come together from the beginning, you have to understand that there was not friends. Everybody having his own agenda, and comrade has never been friend. Comrade will never be with you. The moment he come with you, you take the power, he will do all his best also to get rid of you. That is politics of comrade.
Okay.
I am just a be on your side, but you did not understand me. You are just
I've understood you now.
Now, that's the situation we need to understand from the beginning. All of the people who are in politics, either Raila, or the president in power, there was comrade. And comrade means that I am not with you. I am not your friends. I am against what you are against. I will come with you to fight what we are against. And after when we finish, we win the war, I will come back and fight with you. That is comrade. That is all Africa is like that. Any team who come together to form an alliance to go and beat another party, they will come back to beat now. If we forget about our relation, we become friends. At the end of the day, you will be disappointed because one will abuse you. That is what's happening. You get the point. Because the agenda has been there that if I come with Dr. Masanga, I try with Dr. Masanga have power to fight Professor Onyari. When we kick Professor Onyari out, I will kick also Dr. Masanga. I will make sure I damage it because we was not friends from the beginning. We are comrades. Now the situation, what's happening right now in this, our politics in Africa, we need to make sure that anytime when we are going with an agenda from day one, to make sure that we agree on our agenda because at the end of the day, the betrayal is there. So let us not be surprised what's happening on our African politics. I'm talking on behalf of Pan-Africanism. Dr. Matsanga, you know, that's why I'm telling you that if really kicking him out will solve the Kenyan problem, wonderful, but what? The way we are seeing it right now is two comrades fighting together that we need to make sure that the legacy stays. Dr. Masanga, you are rushing, but I am on your side. You get the point. You are saying something.
I have not roasted you, sir.
You roast me, you was on. That's what I'm telling you.
I now understand where you are going. We have a lot of very little time. Now, I think one of us has already answered you. Miriam, you can, that question doesn't need to repeat amongst us. Otherwise, we shall spend the whole day. We have so many topics. I have answered. If it removes, if it is impeachment, it will save the people of Kenya. The confusion, it will give
the East Africa in general. It will save East Africa in general.
East Africa. We shall save East Africa from going to a warmonger, another warmonger created in Kenya. So my interests are very clear. And if you didn't know them now. For me, I don't mind about the Kenyan internal affairs. My interest is someone working with dictatorship, someone banking money in our country, utilizing that money to slaughter people in this country. It's very bad. If you want
Africa, yes.
Don't takula mimi. Don't takula. Don't takulira dala. There are so many things that are you live in Kampala, Maina. Don't takula. Don't try. Don't takulira dala. Don't screw me up. I would bring so many things here. Some of them are very important security matter.
That's true. That's true.
I don't want. I swear. The Kenyans are not seeing this, but one day you might not see my face on this. You will ask me when these streets of Nairobi are full of problems. Then you will ask me why is the man does not want UHURU KENYATTA to unite Kenya? Why? Why?
To unite Africa, because right now Africa we don't want any separation.
Why? Why? Why does the man not give wheelbarrows to his Kalenjin people in Rift Valley, and they give the wheelbarrows to Karanja and Budi and Wakina Nyamira of this professor who is quiet here? Why? While these people are doing business, others must be on wheelbarrow. Why should a man draw salary in a government which he denounces every day? Either UHURU KENYATTA goes to shake hands and they do peace process quietly and they come out openly and say we are now together to allow the legacy. I am coming in because of the legacy. Miriam, that is the end of the topic. Let's give you time to move on with other topics. And that's it. The impeachment is coming anyway. The impeachment, even if it fails, do you know one good thing about impeachment? Even if it fails, we shall, do you know what? The material that we shall present will make people in Kenya think twice. So don't worry about impeachment, whether it goes through or not. It is one of the strategies that will stop this hyena, you know? And clear me, I'm a political scientist. I want to tell you frankly, don't worry. Impeachment tabled in parliament can fail. But boss, by the end of its failure, every Kenyan would have read your hidden skeletons. Am I wrong, Okama? Am I wrong? Miriam, am I wrong? We want every Kenyan to read Ruto's skeleton. Right from the people who disappeared. We want everybody to read. That is the main political science. It's a strategy. I teach this subject, Miriam. I teach students like you, and they pass. Some of them are even PhD holders. They are saying, Mzee kuja kunywa pombe or Fanta hapa. Because these days I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I've drunk alcohol for 65 years. Therefore now that's enough. If you want to challenge me why I don't drink, go and ask God. But I don't drink alcohol anymore. 65 years is enough. I can tell you other things that I don't do these days. But that Miriam will give me time and one full hour to tell you. One of these days I'm going to tell you something that you have never heard. You know? One of these days, it will be an exclusive all over the whole world from CNN, Sky News, and I will broadcast it from London. So don't worry about that. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I've drunk for 65 years. That's very good. Isn't it good? So that's it. Let this guy, even if the impeachment collapses, we shall have got those booklets now to educate the masses about this character. We would have known how money has been coming, where it has been coming from. Because some people are saying Matanga shouts, he's a liar. But we shall know where he gets the money, which bank, which account. They can't close the account. We got all those documents long time ago. We have been working very seriously. So thank you, Miriam, and Ghana, Maina, ambassador from Paris. That answers the question. Miriam, move on the second topic.
Before we
of
do,
Africa.
Professor has not had an opportunity to say something on the topic you were
Yeah,
talking
give
about.
him.
Perhaps,
Give
Professor.
Professor
A very good
Onyani.
afternoon to you, Professor, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So what we were looking at is apparently there is an impeachment being prepared there, and they're just trying to piece up the articles that will see Deputy President William Ruto impeached there. I don't know what you make of all this.
Yeah, Miriam, for the interest of time and what I've had my fellow colleagues have discussed on this topic, this impeachment is long overdue, but I'm very, very good with the discussion and the debate Maina is trying to bring forward. You know, sometimes don't just enter and say crucify. It's also important also to ask the contrary opinion what will happen. Will it solve the problems of Kenya or not solve the problem in Kenya? If you have got a toothache, Miriam, the first thing you do, you remove it. If another one behaves, you will remove it until you will have no teeth in your mouth, Miriam. So it's a good it's a good motion which is coming in Parliament, and we hope that the sooner it is tabled, it's better, because now, as it is, the Deputy President and the President are not in working terms. And this is not what the Constitution envisages, Miriam. Because one of the things here, Miriam, what we know that in the next 18 or so months, President Uhuru Muigai is going home. So he has got a contract with Kenya. So the other one, what we are trying to ask Parliament to do with a lot of humility is to release him to go and continue with his campaign as the president is trying to reorganize and finish his contract with Kenyans. So Maina, you need not to fear. What we need to do here, we are now want to be like an ostrich. We want to put our head on the sand. If the fire comes and burns us, so be it. I submit, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much, Professor. So now we'll just move to our next topic. We are done with the Kenyan topics we're looking at there. And our next topic, we start with the AU. Has it decayed or captured? And we know that Musa Faki Mahamat has won a second term as the head of the African Union's executive body at the opening of the two-day virtual summit that was expected to look at the continent's pandemic response. The former Chadian Prime Minister, who ran unopposed, received support from 51 of 55 states on Saturday's secret ballot, officials have said. And the Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi has officially took over the rotating chairmanship of the African Union for 2021. These are key maneuvers to consolidate power at home. I'll start with Ambassador Maina. AU, from where you sit. I know this is a conversation we've had.
Thank you so much, Miriam. We're always talking about AU, but many of the panel has never agreed that AU have an agenda that we cannot control as long as we are not part of the financial team. Last time I remember to advise my brother, the next governor of Meru, to find a solution that we can contribute to have a say in AU, but I don't know if he have started something. Meanwhile, you see that Musa Faki has been re-elected over 50. Right, country voted for him. I don't know why, but he's not performing as per se. So mean that do we have a new agenda for AU? For now, we don't know. We will find out for next week how the new president will come out. Having also the new chairman from Congo DRC. I don't know if he's going to add something in AU. I don't believe so as a politician, because for me, I'm not speaking my mind, but I'm telling you the perspective of politics. They say that in chat, in our language, they say that to know your Saturday will be wonderful, you'll start feeling it by Wednesday. He is running a country that is not even in peace. There is not even a stable democracy, not even good governance, whatever. So for him coming in AU is just wasting our energy. Let us agree, all of us. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Dr. Matsanga will be with me or not. Mm-hmm. So this is...
sorry to cut you. I just want to understand what you're saying there, because we know, as you've rightly mentioned there, President Felix Tshisekedi is going through some tumultuous time in his own country there. The political scene there has never been very easy for him since he came into power, knowing very well that President Joseph Kabila still has a lot of control through the majority leadership there in Parliament, in Senate, and across the governing bodies there in the country. So that has disadvantaged him so much. So even right now, they're dealing with certain issues there in the country. So you're saying perhaps with those internal issues that President Felix Tshisekedi is dealing with at the DRC might not allow him perhaps enough time to take up his responsibility as the AU chairperson. Is that what you're saying?
It's going to be very difficult because, Miriam, if your marriage is not well, you cannot come to the podium, start talking to us, because you start thinking or saying different things. Let us agree, we are human beings. The country you are running is not even in peace. There is no government. There is a lot of turmoil. How do we get time to go to international community, represent 54 countries and start talking on their behalf to implement? Because they say that you need to give an example from your leadership from home, right? If the leadership you are running from your home is not even well established, is the one international that you can make it better.
Mm-hmm. All right, good question.
That's not true.
Doctor, how do you respond to Ambassador's question there? Felix might be a liability. We've had others, Ramaphosa, the outgoing, who did not really do much. Before that, we had President of Egypt, Al-Sisi there. Now we have Felix Tshisekedi, who seems to be having a lot of baggage. Will he be able to perform as the new chairperson of AU, and the re-election of Mohamed Faki, who even Ambassador himself has said he's not really done very well? So why did he run unopposed? And 51 out of the 55 members voted for him. What happened to the other 4? Why? Because Musa Faki was ran unopposed. So why did the 4 not vote for him? Doctor?
Thank you very much, Miriam. I hope you are hearing me from this position.
Yes.
I will speak very calmly, slowly, very organized, and deliver my points. 1, AU is captured. It was captured, I agree with Maina. It was captured because we don't have our own money. Those who give us the money called the pipers. You know that saying. So we have nothing. 2, we are very stupid people, all of us in Africa. Do you know why? Do you know why? We all cheer thieves. One thief cheers the other. You think all these heads of state can stand? How many of them, apart from Mugabe? None of them can stand to condemn the other. We all fear. We have that syndrome, mindset of cheering thieves. 3, the AU as it stands now, I agree with Maina. It has been taken over by France. The French run it. The Rwandese is a French. Muhammad Faki, his brother, is a French. Mr. Tshisekedi is a French. They speak French. There is no English speaker in that office anymore. So Muhammad Faki will call Tshisekedi, bonjour, bonjour, allez, mezo, oui. The other one, that woman from Rwanda, I thought Kagame had some gist, but I'm beginning to doubt some of the credentials. He's the one who made reforms. He sees this organization going down. He allows the minister of Rwanda to be involved in an organization that is crippled by corruption scandals. While in Rwanda is shooting people on short range for stealing 10,000 shillings or Rwandi francs. I don't understand. That's why I'm saying we're all thieves. All of us. If the founding fathers came back, Jomo KENYATTA, Milton Obote, Sekou Toure, Kwame Nkrumah, Amina Kabura, Gabriel Nasser, Patrice Lumumba, if they came, Babata Fadelewa, if they returned here, if they return on earth and saw what is happening about Africa, they will tell God to safeguard them wherever they went. We are in a terrible state, Miriam. We have been captured. We are ourselves, we cheer thieves. 51 countries selecting a thief. I'll remain alone. Even 54 countries, even when UHURU says he loves Muhammad Faki, he's my friend. But for me, David Matsanga, 65 years old, who knows what AU is? I've attended all AU meetings since I started political science, except for the last 4 years, I've not stepped in Addis Ababa. I am again telling Maina to go and tell his brother, I will not step there if I'm still alive until he leaves that office and the AU finds a direction. There is a very interesting article, Miriam, which I want you to look at on Africa's Pan-African Forum, my organization. And I believe I wrote it, it is there. You know, the money that we use to safeguard the AMISOM amisom. Kumbe, do you know this is theft? It is real theft, Miriam. These people pump money to the AU Secretariat. The AU Secretariat sits down. That's why you see the war in Mogadishu will never be finished. That's why you see another war has been opened up in Mozambique. I want you to read that article tomorrow. You come back this week. You will always love me forever. Look at it. It is not written by me. It's written by a friend I studied with in London, Canterbury University. He wrote a very good article on security of ISIS. How ISIS, it was sent to me by Chatham House, how ISIS has infiltrated the African Union, how Belgium and other Western countries are sending money to Muhammad Faki, and how huge chunks of money is cut off and left in Addis Ababa, while our troops are dying in those countries. President Museveni, you are my nemesis. You took Ugandan troops to Somalia, but you must check. There is huge money that is left in the AU headquarters. When Belgium sends the money there, the AU headquarters decides how much they should send. They work with officers internally. The officers in charge of AMISOM office secretariat, they know how much to remain. They buy houses in Qatar and other places. This man called the brother of, if I were Maina, I would actually reject my brother and remain with him.
Because of politics.
No,
you
yeah.
Take your brother.
Yes.
No, come on.
Are you not ashamed to be called Ambassador Maina with another
it's my friend, it's my brother.
No, wait. The one who follows you, who is a thief.
Politics is an ideology, Dr. Matsanga.
Yes, I agree with you at times. But you yourself, when you go to a restaurant in Africa and tell your people that that man you see up there is my cousin, then people look at you twice. Surely, don't you feel ashamed?
You are free to choose which politics you want to play. That's the freedom. That's the democracy you are embracing in Africa.
Fine, I will not go into your brotherly action. But if he was my brother, he will not step near my door. We can remain and meet in the village or at the father's shrine. But me, I don't stay with a thief closer to me. The man, you see, read that article. Miriam will tell you tomorrow when we come back, AU, the money for conflicts. Now, you have all the French guys running the show. There is no English-speaking country. There is nothing we do. We don't have anything. Kenya is on Security Council of AU. That's all. And it will be forced to speak French. I don't know whether the ambassador in Addis Ababa knows French. She has to speak French in order for Tshisekedi, in order for Muhammad Faki.
There's several official languages that at AU they.
Yeah, okay, they have. But Miriam, see my point. My point here is this: Maina is right. For today, I'll agree with you because
you will agree with me every day, Dr. Matsanga. At the end of the day, you will agree with me.
Not every day. I wish you also.
Miriam she's a witness.
No, I wish you also became very. No, I wish you became very organized like me.
Thank you. Me, I'm a Pan-Africanist.
You learn from an elder like me. I beat you in it. Also follow me.
All right.
Because at the times you go to Kampala and you forget that you are Pan-African. When you see people being kidnapped, you keep quiet. Me, I don't keep quiet. You kidnap people and hide them in safe houses. Cut their limbs, private parts, then release them. not to produce children who look like Matanga. So that is the type of life that is taking place. Because Matanga makes a constituency vote in red. So it's as type. Did somebody hear us yesterday? We have leaders here. Can they condemn this man? Yesterday you heard President Museveni say, with Mr. this Matanga, these small ones, this one abroad and everywhere who are making noise, we shall isolate them. Did you hear something like that? We shall isolate them.
Yes.
So, Okama, pray for me.
All right.
Pray for us.
Professor, as you do that, I'd like to bring in Daniel now. And Daniel, we've seen Mohamed Musa Faki has been elected for his second term there unopposed. And very interesting that 51 countries out of 55 didn't vote for him. It was a secret ballot, so we can't really know which countries did not vote for him. I would like to know which countries did not vote for him. Maybe that we can see what's really going on there. And also now we have Felix Tshisekedi, president of the DRC, as the chair there. I don't know, what do you expect from AU, and is it a coincidence that they both come from French?
I tell you the country that they did not vote.
Miriam, first and foremost, I really want to say that if my memory serves me right, on this television station, almost half a year ago, Dr. Matsanga and the other panelists, we are able to predict that Musa Faki was going to get a second term, and quite easily, because the interest of the people who put him there, the French, are quite bigger, and they cannot allow any other people who is sober-minded to be at the helm of the AU. Number two, I agree with Ambassador Maina Ghana that the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's by itself is a lot of upheaval. It does not have a stable leadership, and to some extent, we could actually call it a failed state, because it hasn't been having a very, very stable government. You understand, the western part of it, in Katanga region, we have been having a lot of conflict coming out of there. So therefore, it might not be in a position to really serve in that capacity in the African Union. But as Dr. Matsanga says, you have to really connect the dots and see whatever bigger scheme, whatever is beneath the vineyard. In these all these cards that are being played at the African Union, it all tells you that France as a country has a very, very big stake in the leadership of the AU, and being a puppet and being a sleeping giant it has been, the AU shall continue being used by international powers to further their interest here in Africa, as opposed to what they are supposed to do, to champion for the Pan-African agenda, to champion for the freedom of the African people in terms of resources, in terms of commerce, in terms of democracy. So to me, I think we are headed to another term of where African people shall be shortchanged at the table of international discourse, and we don't have much expectation with this incoming leadership, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Douglas. Right, I'll go to Javen. The same question I've posted there.
Thank you, Miriam. And also, my apologies.
Very well, we apologize for that. We seem to be having a signal problem there from Douglas, but once he's able to take care of it, then he shall, give us his thoughts on that. I'll go to Javan.
Network problem.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Miriam. Mm-hmm. And also safe for us to be able to continue exerting our...
Go ahead, Javan. Douglas, we're having a bit of a signal problem from your side. I don't know what is the problem today, but when you're able to give us a clear signal, we shall come back to you. Javan, go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam, for that question. And it was quite, as Daniel has said, it was quite predictable that Faki will get a second term in the additional term in the AU, but nothing much we expect from his leadership skills there at the helm of AU. We have not seen any gains or any significant achievement when he was in office in the previous term. Therefore, there's nothing much we can expect, because to AU, there's still these external factors that interfere with how it operates. That and as Doctor have said, especially in the financial aspects, where we rely on donations and help and grants from other countries. You know, when you are given money, you rely on somebody to provide you with something. The person who gives you is also the person who gives you the conditions, terms and conditions on what he expects from you. And that's exactly the problem that we are having in AU. On the issue of the chairmanship going to Democratic of Congo, we have an issue and a problem in Congo. This is a country that is not in a stable state. Politically, there's a country that people are running from one place to another in fear of their life. And this is a country where we know elections are not carried out in a very transparent or a credible manner. Therefore, we expect a lot of problems in the leadership, because the president who is at the helm of AU now is a person who have more internal issues that he needs to deal with than dealing with a body, a regional body than like AU. You know, in Congo, there's a person who have to deal with how he'll be elected. There's a person who need to bring together his achievement, or to bring together, to consolidate his legacy. So maybe he have an agenda to sell to the people of Uganda. Therefore, when you look at all these issues, this is a man who is overtasked already. Therefore, when we give him more tasks, he might fail. Therefore, I don't expect a lot of change to come from AU, or in terms of how it will deal with the factors that affect the Africa in terms of trade, in terms of cooperation, in terms of how we carry our political and direction process. And it's high time that we need to come, and African heads of state to come and start down and refigure out what we need in AU, because it is not living in its expectation, it's not living its dream, and this is a sleeping giant. We have seen it silent when issues are bad in Uganda, when we have areas where it's supposed to come and respond. We have not seen it coming in time or responding as it's supposed to be. Therefore, these are bodies that need to be looked into, and if possible to be restructured so that it can meet the needs of Africans, because we need a body that works for us, not us as a country individually as servicing this body, but is not meeting the needs of the people. Therefore, it's high time that we come and look at it. But on this issue, I don't expect, with the leadership that is in place now, I don't expect a lot. We had CC Ramaphosa, nothing much. We came out and we expected him, coming from one of the countries that is believed to be more developed, to bring more changes at the helm of AU, but that didn't happen. Therefore, this President Tshisekedi, who comes from a country that is already disorganized, I think a man, he will not live to the task. And for his 2 years, I feel like it will be just things of the past that we have been experiencing. Nothing much, and I feel like we need to work on AU to make it better and serve the people of Africans as it's supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Javen. Professor, there are a couple of, I think, was it last year or 2019? I think last year, when there was an internal memo letter that was written by some AU staff, and there were allegations, very grave allegations against its chair there, Musa Faki, that accused him of corruption and cronyism, and they were giving their points and supporting their argument there. And the AU chairperson, on its part, he did not come out to efficiently respond to some of these allegations, and then now we have him back elected and opposed. How did we afford to have him back there and opposed, despite of all these allegations and some of the things that he's been accused of at the helm of African Union?
Miriam, thank you for that good question. Do you choose it very selectively not to mention that he was being accused of sexual harassment of women? The sexual harassment.
I'm being asked that you adjust your headroom a little bit, Professor.
Yes, I'm trying to say, did you just fear to mention that it was sexual harassment?
I said among others, so that was also one
of them. I wanted to come out very clear that
thank you. That
is exactly what is going on in African Union, Miriam.
Absolutely.
We did say, Miriam, and say here that you want to tell me that in an institution which believes in rule of law and democracy, Miriam, there will be no people to represent themselves for the chairmanship of the African Union, chances are some of the applications were tampered with Miriam. And I won't be wrong on that. And if someone challenges me to the contrary, then Miriam, then the African Union is decayed, not even captured. It is dead. And if something is dead, people are lacking interest in it. So that's one of the questions here, Miriam, we were asking. Has African Union decayed or been captured? The fact, if people's applications for the position of the chairman, the application were removed, Miriam, and then Faki found himself as the only candidate, then African Union is dead and is wanting. After having said, Miriam, that, let me just that one of the objectives of the Organization of African Union, Miriam, was to ensure that the remaining colonization and apartheid in Africa has been dismantled. Miriam, as we speak now, Western Sahara, Miriam, is still colonized by Morocco. 58 years. Morocco got out of African Union and it came back. Reasons why it came back, it is because that the people of Sahrawi are asking for self-determination. The point I'm making, Miriam, that African Union has not only been captured, it is dead. It is beyond repair, Miriam. When you put in the name of Sked as the chairman of African Union, oh God, save Africa and have mercy on Africa. You know, he came second, third. He was number 3, and now number 3 conspired with Kabila, and then he becomes the president, Miriam. Miriam, these are some of the questions that I want to address ourselves to. Is there corruption in Africa? Is there a violation of human rights in Africa, Miriam? Is there rigging of the elections, Miriam, in Africa, whereas the Sked is a beneficiary? The likes of Museveni is that the beneficiaries, the Magafuris are beneficiaries, Miriam. Is there poor governance in Africa, Miriam? Is there a lack of rule of law and respect for human rights and democracy? If the answers to the question are posed, Miriam, are yes, then Miriam, it is not even worth discussing. Someone who has not even been tested on the internal democracy of his country. Africa, the point we are here, Miriam, here is, and how I wish that they take free time to listen to what Dr. Matsanga says. He has never been malicious. He says points the way they are, and I'm happy, slowly by slowly, Ambassador Maina is coming, and we are reading from the same script. And Miriam, let me just stress that even if the brother of Maina, who is the African Chairman Union, although Dr. Matsanga attacks him, you may be my brother, but you may be doing wrong things. So for the first time, I'm happy with Maina, even if his brother is having a job there, he's actually saying that the African Union is no more. So to answer that question and to move to that point, Miriam, there's nothing much we can expect from Faki. And as you have rightly said, Miriam, if you are accused, Miriam, of violating human rights, involving yourself in sexual harassment, Miriam, what business do you have to seek in an office in an African Union, Miriam? And the world is watching. And then we say that France, France, which is the country which has got veto powers in the United Nations, Miriam, in the Security Council, Miriam, supports this man. Even it tells you now, Miriam, this is the double standards. That the African Union is only for a few people. And there's this point he's trying to put Dr. Matsanga has tried to come up with. Miriam, imagine that there is nobody from the Anglophone speaking countries. What does that one tell you? Yeah. It is under the rock and the key from France. The French government can do whatever it wants. So as we are saying, Miriam, it is good that we are having this conversation. We are looking forward for that day that we will be able to have the vision of the founding fathers of the continent of Africa. They looked at how we can promote unity. Is there a promotion of unity, Miriam, when a grandfather keeps on beating a young man in Uganda here? And the African Union does not even open the mouth, Miriam, to say, we will look into the matter even if they are not going to look into it. They keep quiet as if nothing has happened. Miriam, the founding fathers of African Union, Organization of African Union, they looked forward on how we can be able to coordinate and intensify cooperation for development in the continent of Africa. Is that one happening, Miriam?
Good question.
African Union is not only decayed, it's not even captured, it is completely cancerous.
All right, very well, thank you so much. And it's interesting you brought up the win there of President Felix Tshisekedi. Martin Fayulu tried to protest, that, but we don't even hear of him anymore. But, the DRC, they're going to the election in 2023, so let's wait and see how that will play out for President Felix Tshisekedi. But for now, he is the chairperson of African Union, taking over from South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa. Douglas, I don't know if you're able to hear us right now before we move on.
I have one small comment. I want you to ask how many countries, 51 out of 55. One of the countries in Africa that opposed Mr. Mahamat Khan, two, Botswana and Zimbabwe. They rejected Mahamat Faki. Botswana rejected on the question of corruption. Zimbabwe has a running battle when they embarrass their daughter, who is apparently might be the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Zimbabwe. You remember the other Minister of Foreign Affairs?
Dr. Rikana.
Yes.
Okay.
So they voted, they didn't vote. So that the other three, you can see Sahawari and another country, but that is the ones that I have just confirmed. When I closed those two did not vote in favor of Mahamat Faki. They listened to our reasoning.
Thank you so much.
Kenya overwhelmingly voted.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
It is painful because Kenya is on the Security Council of United Nations. So it can't be seen, playing against the same member situation which sent them there. But in fact, I know I don't want to waste much of your time. Jump on the next. I lined these things.
Yes, but I'd like to give Douglas an opportunity. He had a problem with his signal. He was not able to respond.
Douglas
is checking to see if he's back now.
That is the situation. We jump on the next thing. It is also related to the first one. Douglas?
Yes, Dr. Masanga.
Yes, you seem not to be with us while you are with us.
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Masanga.
Douglas, we are looking at the situation in African Union, and we see Mohamed Faki was re-elected unopposed, despite of all the allegations that have been leveled against him. I don't know how we did not get a replacement for him, but he's been re-elected, and we now see President Felix Tshisekedi now as the chair of the African Union, who also have a lot of his own internal problems in his country. I don't know, where are we likely to see AU move this year, 2021, and why, in the name of what's good and right, did we have to have Mohamed Faki back again as the chair, the executive chair of African Union?
Thank you, Miriam. And we need to also, as a people of Africa and also people of goodwill, we need to understand that AU is no longer our African Union that we used to be to know, and it is something that we can no longer control unless we can be able to fund, like Ambassador Ghana Maina was saying, unless we can have our own voices at the AU, unless we can have our own chairman there. The man that they have put there, you asked a very valid question. A man that is facing domestic turmoil in DRC Congo, is he viable to lead the AU that also has its bigger problems? We have been blaming the AU for not speaking in Uganda. We've been speaking about AU not speaking about the issue in Central Africa. All these issues combined together, it is the reason why we cannot have a chairman that has a volatile region and also a volatile country as a chairman of AU. Why would Felix Tshisekedi be the president, the AU chairman at this moment?
Why would Mohamed Faki continue being the executive chairman of AU, whereas he has faced different accounts of issues that surround his chairmanship? This is a man that is not fit to be the chairman, the executive chairman of AU. All these issues that we see that are being drawn to us at France is because France is funding us. It is because they are giving us more monies. We are told that the AU building in Addis Ababa is built by Chinese. There are no contractors in Africa that can be able to do that job and do it very well. We are being captured, and that organization is completely dead. If we want to do better as Africans, we can start another AU maybe and leave that one to French people, because it has been captured completely by the French people. We cannot continue having an AU that we don't have a voice, an AU where people can, like Mohamed Faki continues reading, and also people who give us money. In Africa, we have people and countries that no longer contribute to the AU. Today, they have arrears amounting to 10 to 20 years. These people don't contribute anything to AU. They expect AU to continue speaking in their region. They continue expecting that the French cannot exert authority over us as a people. We continue to suffer today because the interest of the French is being taken care of by the AU, and AU is not taking care of our interest as a people and even as the people of Africa. So we need to clear the air about the AU completely. AU is dead. AU is a branch of French affairs in Africa, and is being controlled from Paris in France. We can no longer continue supporting the AU the way it is today, because this is a French semi-colony. It is a French branch at Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. We cannot have this thing called AU speaking for us. Our people are suffering in Ethiopia, in Tigray, the same country that hosts the AU. They have not spoken or come out strongly. Well, the only thing we hear is more statements that the AU is in charge of that, and that does not help anything. The AU has been supporting a dictator in Uganda, General Museveni. We have not had much from AU. We need to also demystify the issue that the AU is coming to the aid of Africans, except for the statements that they give every year when they meet in Addis Ababa. There's nothing much the AU can be able to do for us, Miriam, and I disagree with anyone that says that we can be able to continue reforming that organization. We cannot reform an organization that we don't fund. We cannot have a voice where we don't contribute money. Even in your own house, if you cannot contribute the food there, the bed there, everything, the TV is owned by your wife. You cannot have any voice in this country, and also other African countries cannot continue, including my voice cannot count to AU today. Yes. If AU continues receiving that monies from Western powers, including the French, this year, we need to talk as the people of African descent and also people that have their issues represented at AU. We need to speak as a people. If we don't speak, the AU will continue being a small branch of French colonial affairs, and we can do nothing about it. If we want to speak about Africa, we need to fund it the African way. We need to speak the African way and have people that we can trust. Dr. Masanga spoke about the French people that are controlling that. It is true that Felix Tshisekedi should solve his issues in a DRC before we are being told he can be a chairman of AU. The chairman of AU, we need a strong man, a man that has pacified the peace in his own country, so that when we speak about Museveni, when we speak, Felix Tshisekedi cannot stand up to General Museveni. He can tell him nothing. Today, this same man, Felix Tshisekedi, has issues in his own country. How is he going to solve our issues when we complain to the same AU that the Felix reads at AU today? How can he solve our issues with Somalia? We need a strong man, a leader that can have the mettle to handle the way African issues are being raised at the same speed. And as long as we are not funding AU, we cannot have a voice at AU, Miriam. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you so much. And in a nutshell, what Douglas there has said, if your wife is the one paying for DSTV, you will not be watching football in that house. There's no UEFA.
Miriam,
yes.
Reliable sources indicate countries that did not vote for Musa Faki are 1, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, Somalia, Botswana, Djibouti. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. Botswana and Djibouti. All right. So maybe tomorrow you might look at why these 4 countries do not vote for Musa Faki, the re-election of Musa Faki.
Botswana, I can explain to you.
For the interest of time, Doctor, we have so much to look
at
yet.
But Ethiopia, we are not happy with the mediation process. Zimbabwe did not pay. Remember, Somalia has not paid their money. Djibouti also has not paid, so you don't have voting rights. Did you know that? And Botswana just stood on its ground because of corruption and sexual harassment of female workers and male workers before they are given jobs. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
For the interest of time, that's it.
Thank you so much. But maybe tomorrow, in our subsequent shows, we shall look in depth in that information, Doctor, that you just brought us. Thank you so much for that. So we move to our next topic, ICC. Is it a savior or a tragedy to Africa? And perhaps, Doctor, you will introduce shortly the topic for us.
Instead of introduction, we don't have much time. Let me just introduce and summarize. Unless someone has a point which is contrary to me, for the sake of time, let me do that. Is that agreed, Miriam?
That's okay. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Like the top organization, we don't have also, we are lost sheep in an ocean of cold water. All African countries say they don't, some of them say they don't like ICC. But none of them, apart from Burundi, that has taken one step towards its departure from there. From Article 127 of the Rome Statute, African countries voted to get out. Then after they arrived in their cities, each of them voted to go back through the stomach, including Kenya. The Attorney Generals of this country at that time used their stomach to get even jobs. They voted to stay in ICC. I just want to summarize it nicely, Miriam, so that we move to other topics of Africa. Believe me or not, you are going to cry. Very soon, we shall cry. The case of Ongwen in Uganda has met with very big opposition. And I was telling you, I don't know whether Wesonga was listening to Ugandans on TV, you saw. They said, no, how do you detain a man and sentence a man or convict a guy when the other side which killed is not there? There's no fairness. And I told you I've raised dust. I've raised dust. It has captured everywhere. 2, the woman who stole $17 million in ICC, tomorrow she's supposed to become the president of ICC, Assembly of State Parties. Can you believe that? Judge Fernandez, Sylvius Fernandez Gumedi, is currently taking over tomorrow as the president of Assembly of State Parties of ICC. So tell me where we are headed. Thanks God, tomorrow, my intervention, I gave them a challenge. Mr. Gaina has failed to garner the percentage. Maybe they are rigging elections now. But by the time we went to press today, he had lost the post to this gentleman from Spain, the Attorney General, the Attorney General of Spain, who has taken over as the chief prosecutor. So hopefully tomorrow the results will remain the same, Miriam. You know they are bound to go back under fidget. We don't know. So the ICC, why are we there? We are there because we are very stupid. And I summarize it that way. We are very stupid. We know the thing is not very good, but still because we need to per diem, to fly on that plane, the Attorney Generals, Solicitor Generals of Kenya, of Uganda, you know they need to go to Red District of Amsterdam to relax. It's good Corona came, you know. Corona has also come and brought some things, stopped so many things, Miriam. They want to go there. That's why Professor was trying to ask you to say exactly about sexual harassment in AU. I did not want to intervene there, but that was what he was meaning. People like going to Amsterdam to enjoy the Red District, so they don't want to vote to come out of the Hague. Wache tuambiane ukweli. What is the use of Kenya remaining? President Uhuru Kenyatta said, never again should any Kenyan take himself to the ICC. Why is Kenya still in the ICC? What are you doing there? Because we have officers in these offices who want to go and enjoy and buy some goods in Amsterdam. Bring them for their girlfriends and their relatives. That's all. They want to get a per diem. Tuambiane ukweli, what is there in ICC? When the people are seeing it, the truth. Tomorrow this ICC is coming to you. Ruto has now got all the men who wanted him dead. He has put them in his party of UDA. So they are now telling him beat, insult. Tomorrow, the same Mudhama Hassan Omar, Moses Kuria, will stand to laugh at this Ruto. When he is being taken for having been a leader of UDA, he will say, no, I was not the chairman. No, I did not give the funds. Yet he's paying them under the cameras. In fact, as they pay them, they record because they think Farouk is cheating them. So they have been recording on their camera, on their, you know, on their handsets, which are also recorded by some other people. So there's a fracas here. Why do we Africans all the time, Miriam, in the name of God, behave like this? That's all my submission.
Thank you.
ICC is not worth it. We should quit under Article 127, strengthen the African courts, make an African court of justice, take people on trial, to have Africans having jobs. We are talking of important lawyers in Africa studying law, international law. Miriam, you are harassing international law in one of the universities downtown. Will the Muzungu give you a job in The Hague? But if this job was in Arusha, you could go there and then they look at you, then they say, no, there is a job here as a clerical officer to write notes of they are chosen. You could work, but how will you go? First of all, you need a visa to go to The Hague. So what does it, how does it help in terms of employment? How does it help Africa? Zero. But if there was an African court of justice on the African continent, my sister and others who are still in working conditions, because I have expired, I can't apply for a job, my date of birth can bring me down, because they look for younger people like Miriam. They are not looking for me anymore with Songa, Douglas, Gaina can apply for a job. Because for him now, he's reaching a consultancy level. Even in the business, his business partners are beginning to get scared, you know, because he's reaching the stage of a ticket free to travel in the Paris metro. So these are some of the things that I'm saying. The ICC does not provide us with anything. It gives us a burden. There is nothing we get out of it. even the jobs are taken by the West. So Africans have nothing to get out of ICC. I recommend they use Article 127 and acquit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for that. So we go to our next topic, and perhaps it will be our last, and the rest we shall look at tomorrow because of time. On Uganda, kidnap and safe houses return. Ugandan authorities face pressure to find more than 24 people allegedly abducted by security forces before or after last month's presidential election, whose outcome has been rejected by the main opposition candidate as fraudulent. Now, Internal Affairs Minister General J.J. Odongo told lawmakers on Thursday that at least 31 out of the 44 alleged kidnapping victims are yet to be traced. The admission has drawn criticism, as many Ugandans point out that people were taken at night in vans without license plates. The opposition leader asserted to reporters on Thursday that 3,000 of his followers are missing, either in jail or unaccounted for after alleged abductions by security forces that could not immediately be verified. Now, attorneys for Mr. Wine, the popular singer whose real name is Kyangulanyi Sentamu, last week filed a legal challenge with the Supreme Court seeking to nullify Museveni's victory and bar him from running for the presidency again. It is unclear when oral arguments will start. So, Internal Affairs Minister General J.J. Odongo in Parliament there actually, confirmed, admitted that there are people that were taken by the police and they cannot be accounted for. I'll start with you, Daniel Wesonga.
Yes, Miriam, and of course it's very, very unfortunate for whatever is happening in Uganda. As a person who comes from near the border, and of course from where I live, we do engage a lot with Uganda. We have people, relatives in Uganda. We do get most of our stuff in terms of food stuff. We get a lot of good from Uganda. And therefore, whatever happens in Uganda really affects whatever happens in Kenya. And that is for a fact. So I think it's very, very unfortunate that President Yoweri Museveni, apart from overstaying in power for more than 3 decades, he has also now starting bringing back whatever bad political situation that the former dictator Idi Amin did to Uganda, where we had people disappearing and finding bodies floating in River Nile. That is what is happening right now. We do have right now so many political prisoners in Uganda. We do have so many of these political arch rivals running away from Uganda. And I think soon enough, the center will not hold anymore. And he will be gotten rid of, because that is what we've seen happening with so many dictators in Africa whenever they are nearing the end of their tenure. And he has to be very, very careful on how he's treating Ugandans. He has to be very, very careful on what rules and laws he's bringing into Uganda, because at the end of it all, he will be held accountable for whatever he's doing. We've seen the European Union showing some concern about the political situation in Uganda. We've seen the United States also showing concern about the same. And therefore, let him know that for whatever things he is doing to Ugandans, the world is watching, and soon they will be held accountable. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Javan, this admission by the Internal Affairs Minister there that indeed there are people who were taken away by the police and they cannot be accounted for. Should it warrant some outrage, even from the East African community and the rest of Africa? What is really happening there in Uganda?
Thank you, Miriam. I will use my audio because I have no power in the house. But let me say this. One thing, we have seen the kind of intimidation that is happening in the people in the country of Uganda. We have seen people suffer in the hands of dictator Museveni. And those people who are getting abducted, this shows that the regime is not good, because there is claims that they are being abducted by the police. Therefore, it is high time that the African countries and all the international bodies that love peace and unity, they intervene and we try to bring solution to the healing that affects the people of Uganda. Therefore, it's bad. And we have seen also activists like Stella Nyanzi coming to Kenya to seek refugee because of the intimidation that is happening in Uganda. Therefore, I understand the pain, and it's high time that the people of Uganda continue on with the revolution. So, because at the end of the day, they will achieve greatness in 1992 in this country, when we tried to repeal Section 2 of our old constitution, a lot of things happened. People lost their life. People suffered, people were beaten, and at the end of the day, we got a multi-party democracy that we enjoy today. We got the freedom that we enjoy today as a country. Therefore, it is a call to the people of Uganda to continue with the same. But for the regime of Museveni, he should know that nobody stays forever. He is not the Alpha and Omega in Uganda. One day he will decamp, one day he will leave power, and the people of Uganda will enjoy the ultimate freedom that they are seeking. One day the people of Uganda will have a credible election. One day they will have a judiciary that reflects the will of the people. Therefore, the opposition led by Bobby Wine should continue on following the right channels, going through the Supreme Court, so that they ensure maybe at one way or the other, the people of Uganda gets justice. But to the other African nations, and East Africa in particular, let's learn to respect our our electoral bodies. Let's learn to respect our institutions. Let's empower our institutions so that we have confidence in the verdicts that they give. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Javen. Douglas, 31 out of 44 are people that have been kidnapped are yet to be traced, and that was an admission by Internal Affairs Minister General Jeje Odongo there. What is it telling us?
Thank you, Miriam. And it is also a shame for General Museveni and his people in government to continue kidnapping the people of Uganda after killing over 54 people between 18th and 19th of November 2020 in the middle of an health emergency, in the middle of the pandemic. General Museveni and his people have continued showing contempt to the people of Uganda and also stifling their voices, killing their people, and also abducting the people. Remember, the opposition has a different figure from that was confirmed by the minister. What we are having in Uganda is a shameless dictator who wants to continue sticking in power. After 36 years in power, nobody voted for Museveni to come into power 36 years ago. He has continued killing the same people. Some have lost their wives. People in Ruera are crying. People in Masaka are crying. People in Bare are crying. People in Kampala are crying. People are crying everywhere in Uganda. Their people have been killed. Girls have lost their lives. Young children and women have lost their livelihoods because of one man. All the issues you find in Uganda, the rebel movement you see that was started in Uganda, the Rhodes Resistance Army, all these were reacting to the repressive regime of General Museveni. But to end this submission is that General Museveni should be put to account. Remember, Bill Kenny is coming. Until Bill Kenny is coming, the new Secretary of State in the USA is coming. Biden is coming himself. He has said he is coming for these dictators. Paul Biya should be shaken. Especially the people of Uganda should be happy that now the US is going to cooperate in combating such a repressive dictatorship where a man has continued killing his own people. General Museveni, I have a simple question for you. If you continue killing Ugandans, who are you going to read? Because you have declared yourself a life president. Remember, when the US comes for you, they will come for you in your house. And the people of Uganda are going to get the freedom that they deserve, because you cannot continue killing people, kidnapping others, and hiding others in dungeons and military barracks in Uganda. That republic doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the people of Uganda. Their blood cannot continue being poured for you to stay in power. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much, Douglas, for that. And of course, the opposition leader has said that over 3,000 of his followers are either missing or in jail or unaccounted for. And he says that he alleges that these abductions are being done by the government. Should this be a cause for alarm, perhaps what is really happening there in Uganda, Ambassador Maina?
Thank you so much, Miriam. I was learning a lot from you guys, especially about politics. I become a new student from Professor Onyari. I need to learn a lot in order for me to discuss about politics. What happening in Uganda is predictable. Dr. Matsanga know already about it. It's something that is not new. It's not the first time those kind of things happening with the dictatorial president in Africa. But meanwhile, for me, my question was one. Last time I was watching Professor Lumumba said something very, very interesting I want to share with you. He said the tragedy of we Africans, we have not been able to explain democracy with our own language, either in Kiswahili or in Baganda or in Zulu or in Hausa or any language. We are not being able to explain what is democracy with our own language, Professor Nyari. This was the biggest tragedy. And we embrace this democracy without even understanding the rule, because something you cannot interpret on your own language means you don't understand it. We take democracy, we embrace it, we take political parties, we take election, and at the end of the day, it becomes a distraction for us, because those things has taken us away from our African agenda, how to grow, how to develop our country, how to become united. I don't know if Dr. Matsanga or any of you have discovered that since we have integrated too much this system of democracy and election, the Union of Africa has disappeared completely, because it's the strategy to deroute our thinking. Because right now, every country is busy for those kind of democracy, election, or whatever. We cannot even think how to become one, how to become powerful. And every day, we are going on to problem after the election. There are arrests, the people are dying, they are killing each other. I'm asking myself a question: is that the way forward in Africa, Dr. Matsanga, going to this kind of things like election or democracy? Is that the way forward? Why do we believe even that America have to come and solve our problem? That Biden have to come and solve problem? Why we African, we don't have a strategy to set a guideline, to draw the line? Because we all know that America will never change anything. Barack has said it. Trump was here, the toughest man. Biden will be here. Someone also will be here. I don't believe that. Maybe Professor Onyari will prove me wrong. You will never agree with me, but I don't think America can solve our problem, or Europe. We are the only people who can solve our own problem. Either we understand this democracy, we sit down to draw a new line to show that this is not working for us, and we need to bring a new strategy and understanding how it's going to work. Counting on America is not even an option, because Joe Biden cannot come to say that Museveni leave this chair and the Bobby Wine come and sit down. It's not going to happen. We all know that. At the end of the day, the country will go in blood. How do we African can fix our issues with a mutual understanding without killing the innocent people? Did we have a way to do that? I'm asking the panel, did we have any strategy to rebuild a system that we can understand ourselves? If there is something wrong, we can fix it. We can fix the inside kitchen to make sure that there is no bloodshed or there is not arrest or disappearance in our system of Africa. Because for me, counting on those America, I don't think it's helping. For me, it's not helping me. I know that it's not going to happen. Many have told that when Obama came, no dictators in Africa, they need to go. At the end of the day, we have a charter in the United Nations where Dr. Matsanga know that we are sovereign countries, that there is a lot of things that you cannot be involved deeply in their countries. They have also their rights. So there is no much pressure can come from outside if we inside cannot fix it. Are we going to revive our system to make sure that we come to the level that we can sit our leaders at least to fix some issues that are not going well? Or we sit down to wait, God sending a messiah from developed country, from Western countries to come and just kill these bad people by magic? Or how are we going to do that? Me, the question I'm sending to your panel, guys. Can you help me? Because until now I am lost. It's not only wherever countries that there is election, after election there is the damage, collateral damage. Mm-hmm. We can count several: Zimbabwe, Chad, Kenya, wherever there will be a collateral damage. Do we have a solution at least to address the issue? Back to you, Miriam.
All right. Thank you so much, Maina. Professor, do you have any answers to those questions there, Ambassador?
Yeah, Miriam, thank you, and I'm happy for the kind of question Ambassador Maina is trying to ask. But my rebuttal to him, Miriam, is that the time for asking questions, Maina, is gone. Africa wants solutions, and the Africa wants answers from you. When you are asking those kind of questions, people are also asking you, so we will not solve what is bedeviling Africa, Miriam.
No one is ready for the answer in Africa.
The question you were asking, Miriam, is on...
should we be worried about these abductions?
Kidnappings in Uganda.
Absolutely.
What I'm asking, Mahina, time for asking questions are gone. We want answers from you. There's nobody who doesn't have... In fact, you have more answers than us, because you have lived in Africa and you have lived outside Africa. And I would ask you, the people who store our resources, you know them. And you are asking whether they can give us mandate, Miriam. It cannot be possible. People who have misused us, people who has considered us as lesser human beings, people who have given minor good houses in Paris and they cannot come back to Africa. The one who have taken the very best brains from the continent of Africa, Miriam. And Minor is aware there's a scramble in Africa at the moment for our youthful human resource, our natural resources which are intact, and they will never want a stable Africa. If they are stable Africa, will say no. So what I'm trying to say, Miriam, let me just have this thing, Miriam, because for the interest of time. If you killed by the sword, you will be killed by the sword. If you mistreat God's people, you have got a date with God. And this is exactly what's going to happen to President Museveni. He has done all manner of things, Miriam. Miriam, if you cannot be able to do something in office for 100 days, which can show you what you want to do in the next 5 years or 10 years, Miriam, even if you are given a century, there's nothing you'll do. You will only try to hide the evils you have done. Miriam, President Museveni is not even ashamed, Miriam, to be fighting with his grandson. Even when Dr. Masanga have successfully handed the baton to the young people, because the future of Uganda does not belong to Museveni, his time is up. You rig the elections and you want to kidnap people and they just disappear. Who has ever done that one in history and survived? Tell me, educate me. Who has ever done that one and survived? He has reached at the peak and I'm seeing him coming down. But I want to say that the progressive forces in Africa, where I'm seeing Ambassador Minor is trying to come, trying to ask a question. Those questions are good, but Africa is asking, we are suffering. Can you give us answers? So President Museveni continue doing it. Every other second continue kidnapping. When the cup is full, it has to go. This is going to happen. Bob Wine has he has got no chances. It's one way of continuing to expose President Museveni.
All right, thank you so much, and we apologize for that poor signal there towards the end of Professor's commentary. Doctor, bring us to an end. The opposition leader there in Uganda is saying over 3,000 of his followers are missing, either in jail or they have been accounted for, and they're saying that they have been abducted by security forces there in Uganda. And Internal Affairs Minister coming out and saying, you know what, out of the 44 cases that we know, 31 of them at least have been abducted, and we as a government are not able to trace them. And they were kidnapped by security forces, yes.
Miriam, is it me?
Yes, it's you. You concluded for us the show.
In a summary, I was listening bits and bits while age is catching up, but I surrendered my baton to the younger man, the younger people today. Stella Nyanzi, in 1986, when some of us said, this man will become a dictator, there were some people who rebuked us. And today we have some people who are still there, who were against us at that time. So that's why in this world, you don't laugh at any person when he's a refugee. I have been a refugee who's laughed at by very many people, especially in Kenya. Some of them who say, whenever they see me, all right, they tell me about being a Ugandan. But a refugee, you don't write an application to be a refugee. It comes automatic, but the condition is on the ground. A refugee status has no timetable. It only erupts at any time. Many Kenyans didn't know that they would go and become refugees in other countries in Africa or in Uganda, for example. 2007, 2008, we saw. But the truth now here is this. You have a president, Miriam, in summary, who comes and tells you, don't worry, who tells these army generals in the presence of international media that about this opposition, don't worry, these are parasites and we are isolating them, and you know how I isolate them. They can make both inside and outside. We shall isolate them. The word isolation, if you went further to ask, he will tell you that we shall deal with them. So it is not a good way. President Museveni even filed applications saying, I have read one of his reply saying that Kyagulanyi was out of time. Even after he had detained Kyagulanyi for almost 10, 14 days to make sure that he doesn't make an application. Not forgetting that the time limit for applications was 30 days. He thought it was 14. This is how to show how a man is misled by people. The Constitution, Supreme Court extended to 30 days for filing.
Oh.
So he detained him thinking that after 14 days, release him to go, tell him to go, it's good. Not knowing that there are still more days. So the people, our friends in Kenya,
I did not know that, Doctor. That's quite interesting.
It's very interesting. He detained this younger man.
Yes, and that was the strategy. Mm-hmm.
The strategy. He told the Supreme Court to go on leave. Then the Supreme Court said, no, applications are still on after Kyagulanyi had been released. In fact, if they had told him that the days were still there, Kyagulanyi would have been in prison up to now.
That is true.
So, there are people who don't know the role some of us have played. I played my bit. I did my bit. From 1981, I've suffered, I've fought battles. The younger people who see me on this TV and Facebook, it is because I'm also trying to catch up with the new generation. But I am a typewriter man who used the typewriter to answer my questions. And I passed very, very, very brightly. Very brightly. And I have told, I am a bright student who used a typewriter called Brother. I've kept it in my home here. A Brother typewriter to write my thesis. And I passed, competed with Mazungu. I got a first honors degree. First honors, very rare. But I used a typewriter to write my exams. I remember I bought it for 89 pounds on Oxford Street in London to write and type my thesis. There was no internet. So those who insult me, I thank you. I have never even insulted anybody. I don't. Even if one of them, about 20 of them ask, this man will insult him every day. But he doesn't give up. Because I have passion and vision, I know what I'm trying to do. In summary, Miriam, I have suffered in the hands of this guy. For you, now people in Kenya can see a man who doesn't know that the constitution was extended for 30 days. So he went and detained this small boy, thinking that after 14 days, he will have nowhere to reply. Now, he applies and says, no, he was out of date. Then the lawyer said, sir, no, he had 30 days. So he said, we release him to Ale. Should have been in. That is the government we are facing. But that done, the Ugandans, Stella Nyanzi, who is now, and I want to thank my former bouncer, Professor Wajikoya, for having helped Stella Nyanzi to apply for asylum. Please, I want to ask the Kenya government to help him, to help her. Don't reject her. She has nowhere to return. Because up there, things are not very good. She has nothing. Let her, if you do, tell her. And then I want to ask any European country, especially Canada, Britain, and others, please take her on board. She needs that protection. The situation there is becoming very, very, very fluid. There is a new car called, I think it's called what? The new car in Uganda, there is a new car which is modeled either from China or where?
The white van.
It is called what?
It is a white van.
A white or gray van.
Yes.
It comes, it has all tinted windows. They put you in, you go. Another woman was today crying over TV about the child whom he has never seen. People are winning elections when they are not even at home, they are in jail. They were voted. Then they say, you are here, but you have been voted. So there is quite a lot. Help these gentlemen who are running away, this lady Nyanzi and others. It is not a matter of fighting President Museveni, but the guy tells you off. That word, isolate, could mean liquidation. So I am sorry. I am one of the victims who was told in London, 10,000 miles away from here, in the presence of 20,000 Bazungu, that you, if you ever try, we shall liquidate you. Not anybody else. The president himself told me in a conference, and the conference had to be suspended. The Bazungu walked out in a protest for me. Just 20,000. They said, no, it can't take off. You cannot come and tell this man you will kill him. When we are hearing like this, then you are telling us to come and invest in Uganda. No way. There will be no investment. Sorry. Conference cut to pieces. He has never forgiven me for that. So I am a victim in so many ways, including my little money. I told you, Miriam, I promise you, whenever you talk about Uganda, I will remind the President Museveni to pay me my money. Pay the money. The other things I don't, please, pay me the allowances that brought peace, which Onwen did not want, and went on doing his own things. I brought the peace in northern Uganda. European Union was going to pay me. The president came in and said, you will pay me. So his handlers waiting, watching. Amelia Chambade ate the money, $332,000. They never gave me a single coin. I need that money. Mr. President, I don't have any problem. There is no other place where I can shout. And I am not harmful I just need my money, and that is it. And Riek Machar, you are listening to me. I talked to you last night. You are now in power. If you don't pressurize for my money, Dr. Riek Machar, I have helped you also to return it to where you are. Ask for my money and bring it to me. You are the chief mediator. I did not get the money. If Konya had killed me, my children would have nothing. But since I'm still alive, you pay me, I give my children something. Because I worked to bring peace, which you are enjoying and telling people. But there is no problem, Mr. President. If you don't pay the money, God will give me more chances of surviving. But if you have a heart of a president, ask Amelia Chambade as your private secretary at that time, where did she take the money? Or ask Afande Nakarema, who is in charge of corruption, to look for this lady and ask her, where is the money? I never got it. So I want to thank you to end here by saying that there are so many circus cinema video taking place. If a head of state did not know. And Miriam, another thing before you close, do you know what he did? Yesterday, but one, he called the judiciary and increased their budget. Do you know why? Do you know why? He increased the budget for the judiciary now to make a ruling in his favor. Question. He increased everything the Chief Justice Ndolo was asking, said, yes, yes, yes. After realizing that the 14 days were not over, he summoned the judiciary. So, the state Nyansis are right. They should have known it is stood by me long time ago. Now, my daughter is joining me for us to be in the same stateless. We are stateless, but thank you. There are countries in the world that have helped. I want to thank the people of Kenya, the people of Britain, for having helped to stabilize some of us in this world. Her Majesty, you have never been disappointed people. You have a sense of human rights. So, Stella, don't worry, wherever you are, God will help you. I want to thank the panel, Professor Douglas Sean Wesonga, and my beloved Miriam Ogutu from Nairobi. Thank you very much, my dear, and Ambassador Kaina Maina. Thank you very much, Daniel Sean Wesonga, Professor Onyari. I know you are briefed. You lost your stepmother, but we pray with you. We have nothing much to say at this hour. We can't travel for the burial. The COVID regulations don't allow us to come there, but we give you to Jesus Christ. We hand you over to the Almighty God to keep the family together, because he was the only left offspring who was looking after all of you after the demise of your father. So we pray for you, and we pray for the nation. We pray for President UHURU KENYATTA. We pray for all these lumpens of wheelbarrow proletariat, lumpen proletariats of wheelbarrow, mafia maniac. Let's pray for them that God changes their hands to know that there is no wheelbarrow, there is no dentist. There is a human being, and it is the human being, the value that you select, not wheelbarrow lumpenism of lumpen proletariat. you know, it's one of the most, you know, very, very complicated theory that you can't tell a human being, except me who used the typewriter to type, that I should go back to the typewriter today. Instead of telling me that I must only have a pen as my writer, and I said the words it types, you are telling me to have a wheelbarrow. Mr. Ruto, wake up. Wake up. Even if the impeachment, Miriam, finally does not go through, we want everything that Ruto has done to be in the public domain. That's all. It might not go through, but it doesn't matter. But people want to know where he gets the money. Who funds this guy? Where did the money that the governor of the Bank of Kenya said it was missing? Where was it? Who kept him? He never studied in Makerere. What did he take a bad luck to our university? Wagwan.
All right, Doctor.
He never studied there. He has no name. His shoes should not step there. He took a bad omen to our university, and the fire came to catch the university. I pity Uhuru Kenyatta. Oh my God. I don't know how he handles this guy. Huh? Thank you, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor, for that, and thank you, the rest of you who joined us.
Yeah, this car, before you finish, this car that kidnaps people in Uganda is called a drone. Drone. D-R-O-N-E.
All right, very well. Thank you so much.
And we shall continue talking. My children are 8. Out of 8, you will not finish all of them. And they are now very clever. They are even cleverer than yours. Because yours got a flat degree in Nottingham University. I have the copy. Flat degree, no honors. But because he's my son, I can't talk about him anymore. I was at the graduation. He didn't know why I was there. Yes, long time ago. I'm an investigative journalist. I simply wanted that paper. None of my children brings me this flat, honorable flat degree. Unaletea kwa nani? I tear it under in front of you.
All right, Doctor, thank you.
Ugandans, don't give up.
Very well.
God bless you, Miriam. God bless Africa. Bye-bye, Nairobi.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.